And Rick Hendrick's team's going to tie a record that stood since 1956. 1-2 finishes, 4 races in a row as Kyle Larson wins at Sonoma.
Kyle Larson has always been fast at Sonoma with 3 poles, but somehow never could pull off that win. That changed on Sunday. A perfect race, winning both stages, and a home track California win. Welcome to Backseat Drivers. I am Alex Weaver. Joining me finally in studio is Jonathan Merriman, and from Fox Sports Virtually, America's crew chief, Larry McReynolds. Welcome back, Larry Mack. We're glad to have you.
Oh, good to join you. Appreciate it.
All right, let's get right into a segment that we like to call Left or Right. Merriman, I know Chase Elliott's still the king of the road course, but who's your number 2 guy? Or are you switching things up a little bit?
Chase Elliott is my number 2 guy. Kyle Larson is the king of everywhere we go right now. So it's a what have you done for me lately sport right now. Kyle Larson, he was fast at COTA. The rain came. You could argue that was his race to lose. He was fast at Sonoma. No rain, did it the hard way, won both stages, won the race. Kyle Larson is my number 1 at the road courses.
Well, honestly, if you look at Kyle Larson, Alex, this year with the twist of the knob, about 1/8 of a turn, we could be talking about him winning all 3 road course races so far. But he's only won 1. And in fact, headed into yesterday at Sonoma, he only had 2 top 5 finishes at road courses. One of those was finishing second to Chase Elliott at COTA. I still believe Chase Elliott, 6 road course wins. He's still the king of the road, but he definitely has some company right now from his teammate.
Well, we often hear that strategy is big when it comes to Sonoma. Per usual, a ton of different play calls in Sunday's race. Larry Mack, with your crew chief hat on, whose strategy did you agree with more?
Well, first and foremost, I am still taking a Segtrin, trying to get rid of this migraine, trying to keep up with all the strategy that went on the other day at Sonoma Raceway on the road course. But, you know, when you win the race, obviously you had the right strategy. But when I look at the top 3 finishers, Kyle Larson, I look at Chase Elliott, I look at Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 car, I can't say any of them had bad strategy. Their strategy pretty much stayed on top of one another until that caution came out at lap 31, and then that's when they started going down different directions. But then when we got into those green flag pit stops, they all 3 pitted within a 2-lap window, and then when that 5th caution came, they all came and got 4 tires. So they eventually got back on the same strategy. I felt like who had the best strategy, I don't know if he had a car that was going to be able to beat those 3, was Jeremy Bowens and Brad Keselowski. He ran that run long when we got into those green flag pit stops. They saw a caution about to come out. He hits pit road, and he makes pit road before it closes for the caution, but they had a pit road penalty for equipment over the wall too soon. I still don't know if the 2 was going to be able to beat those 3 that finished 1, 2, 3, but I thought that strategy was spot on.
I thought what the 5 did was extremely difficult, winning both stages, winning the race, never been done before. I think Hendrick Motorsports has the equipment to do that. They have the guts to make that call. So given all that, you add that all together, I think the 5 strategy, it was gutsy, and it worked out, sweeping the race, taking chips out of Denny Hamlin's regular season championship lead right now. So if I'm the 11 car, I'm watching out with the 5 car operating like they're operating.
All right, time to refuel here in the drive-thru. Short, sweet answers. Merriman, let's get to it. Larson has 11 stage wins already this season. The record is 19 in one season. Does he pass that in 2021?
Well, barring a meteor hitting the earth, I think he's going to get that. So, yes, Larson hits 19. I think he could even go beyond.
No question. And he may do it before the regular season ends the way he's going right now. And, you know, right now I don't see any weak racetrack or type of racetrack for that 5 car in Kyle Larson. And we certainly know that other teams can get on the road, but I think he easily surpasses that 19 mark and probably does it before we even get remotely close to the end of the season.
Larry Mack, let's start with you on this one. Is there a driver that can beat Kyle Larson? Who is it?
Well, right now, if there's one that can beat him, it's probably one of the drivers and teams that's right there in the same shot. Right now, Hendrick Motorsports, they just almost seem unbeatable. Just look at our last 4 races at all of these different types of racetracks. You go back to Dover, 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 3 races, COTA, Charlotte, and Sonoma, 1, 2 finishes. I would say right now they're all running well. They all can win on any given Sunday, But I would say the guy that ran second to him yesterday, Chase Elliott, that's probably his biggest threat, no matter what type of racetrack we go to.
Kyle Busch, he has a win early. It's not the name that you think would come up with Chase and Martin Truex Jr. running so well right now. But, look, I think Kyle Busch, the pressure's off considering the year he had last year. So I think the 18's his biggest competition.
All right, I like it. Merriman, in a season full of surprises, who's been your surprise standout driver so far?
Chris Buescher, he's been my dark horse in the Cup Series for a long time. I'm glad things are finally coming together for him and that number 17 Roush Mustang. So Chris Buescher's my guy.
Yeah, I could certainly make a case for Chris. I totally agree, and I do personally hope they make the playoffs. But I'm going to look over there at Tyler Reddick with Richard Childress Racing. The season did not get off to that good of a start. I know he had a second-place finish at Homestead, but about the first 5 or 6 races, that was about the only thing they could hang their hat on. Alex, he was so far below the cut line a good 10 or 11 races ago. The only way Tyler could see the cut line is someone showed it to him on a piece of paper. And then you look at these last 10 races, 7 top 10 finishes, and he had never seen Sonoma Raceway until they dropped the green flag yesterday in that race. And I felt like had they not had the tire rub and had to use up a set of tires and ended up running out of tires there at the end of the race, that he probably was headed for a top 10. Right now, he's got a little bit of a cushion above the playoff cut line. So really impressed, honestly, RCR as a whole, but especially Tyler Reddick in his sophomore season.
All right, last one for this one. I know there's a ton of racing left for 2021. Merriman, road courses may not be an equalizer. What races are you looking at to shake up the playoffs when we finally get there?
I don't think there is not one, right? Unless we, make them run an Ironman race before they start the playoffs. Look, I think what you got's what you got. I think the guys dominate, and they're going to continue to dominate.
And we got 10 races to go, and it's a very diverse set of racetracks. We have 3 road courses. We've got our one trip that will make up to New Hampshire. Remember, the double header at Pocono coming up. We're going to Nashville Super Speedway. Certainly the one that can shake things up, and it can shake it up like one of those snow globes at Christmas, is the regular season finale down there at Daytona. It happened last year with William Byron winning that race, getting in and knocking his teammate Jimmy Johnson out. But I will say personally, I think the 16 that's there today, that's probably going to be the 16 that goes into the playoffs and competes for a championship.
Well, there is a ton of racing left this season, but it's time to take a break from the points and worry all about the money. The AllStar Race is on deck, and we asked you fans at home if you would wreck your spouse for $1 million. We know the winner of the AllStar Race gets $1 million. An overwhelming majority, over 90%, said yes. I was really getting a kick out of reading some of these comments. We have Ricardo, who said that he would be on a Netflix docuseries because his wife would kill him and take the money, so he'd have to give her the race winning. So then Emily said, of course, in all capital letters. Dakota said, no, he's good because then he'd be sleeping outside for a month. Jay Ruttman said yes, and his wife would be fully on board. And then Kyle might have had the best one of the week. He said that he'd put her into the wall for a stack of pancakes. So $1 million would be an easy choice. Larry Mack, would you put sweet, sweet Linda in the wall for $1 million?
Absolutely. Don't even have to think twice about it, because I know she would wreck me probably for $20,000. And remember, I'm the guy that stood on pit road in 1992 and watched my driver, Davey Allison, get in a huge wreck that destroyed our race car to win $200,000. The AllStar Race back then didn't pay $1 million. It only paid $200,000. And I hated to see our race car get destroyed, but I was proud of how aggressive that Davey Allison was. Absolutely. I'd wreck you. I'd wreck Linda. I'd wreck anybody for $1 million.
Me too. Merriman, careful. Lindsay's watching.
I'd right rear for $1 million. I'm not going to lie to you. Hooker.
All right, well, at least we know where everybody stands here. Now time to take it to the big board. Welcome to our big board segment. Larry Mack, the last time we had you on the show, I don't know if we had christened the big board yet, but welcome to the big board. 3 options. We have cruise control, running on empty, or going the wrong way. So first up, let's toss it to you, Larry Mack. Ryan Blaney, what lane would you put driver number 12?
Yeah, I would probably say Alex running on empty. I mean, they got that win early. He and Todd Gordon as crew chief at Atlanta, but that is the last time he actually finished in the top 5. He only has 2 top 5 finishes total in our first 16 races of 2021. But since he won that race at Atlanta, I think it's only about 3 or 4 top 10 finishes. So they're locked into the playoffs essentially. They just need to find more consistency. They have speed, they just lack some consistency.
Merriman, up next for you is the last 3 All-Star Race winners. Let's start with Kyle Busch. What lane are you putting driver number 18 in?
I'm going to say he's on cruise control. Things are going the right way for the 18 camp. Doesn't have the wins that, say, Truex has, but I think all attitudes are up over there on the 18, so keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, if Kyle Busch is in a good mood, just cruise control it out. I think we can group these next 2 together. Let's do Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, the last 2 winners for the All-Star Race. Where are they going?
Well, you'd like to see Chase with a few more wins, but Hendrick Motorsports, all 4 cars are running in the right direction. So if you're in the Hendrick Motorsports camp, you have to be on cruise control.
All right, Larry Mack, your turn. Kyle Busch, is he running on empty for you? You got him in cruise control?
No, I would say cruise control. Now, if we'd have been talking about him maybe before that Kansas win, I would have said running on empty or maybe even going the wrong way. But it's like ever since they got that win at Kansas, he only has 1 finish outside the top 10, several top 5 finishes, including at Sonoma this past weekend. Yeah, they need to win more, and they know they're a little bit behind Hendrick Motorsports, but I don't know if I would reinvent the wheel over there right now.
All right, and finally, the 2 hot rods over at Hendrick Motorsports. They're doing something right?
I would lock it down on cruise control. I would not change a thing. Whatever time they even stop for lunch each day, keep eating lunch at the same time, because across the board in that entire organization, things are in the right direction right now.
All right, Merriman, the playoff bubble, it's starting to take shape. The first 2 that are in right now are Chris Buescher and Tyler Reddick. Where are you putting those 2 drivers?
Keep doing what you're doing. Don't make any silly mistakes. If you're Tyler Reddick, keep it off of the wall. Just make sure you finish these races and hold on to that position.
And then the last 2, I guess first 2 out would be Kurt Busch and Matt DiBenedetto. What about those 2?
Kurt Busch is a winner at the Cup Series level. He should be winning races. He should be locked in with a win right now. So I'm going to say he needs to, he's running on empty a little bit. Matt DiBenedetto, he's in race-winning equipment. He's running on empty as well.
Well, the Lone Star State is hosting NASCAR's All-Stars, and $1 million is on the line. All bets are off when points don't matter. $100,000 will also go to the fastest pit crew. So, Larry Mack, who you going with in Texas?
I'm a big believer in momentum, Alex. And when you look back at the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, I realize a much longer race than this race at Texas, but a very similar type of racetrack, same aero package, same horsepower. I don't know how in the world, when you look at what Kyle Larson and Cliff Daniels did in the Coke 600, how you would not say they have to be the favorite for Sunday night.
All right, Larry Mack going with Kyle Larson. Merriman, who you got?
I started the show talking about Kyle Larson. I'll end the show talking about Kyle Larson. Larry Mack knows what he's talking about. I'll trust him. Larson wins the All-Star race.
All right, well, thank you, Larry Mack, for being here with us. You two fans, make sure and keep voting for your favorite driver this week to get into the All-Star race. And tune in to the All-Star race from Texas Motor Speedway on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1, $1 million. See you next week.